What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the Phoenix channel. If you like this content, consider hitting the like button. Consider subscribing to my channel. Figured I'd do a quick update on smart contract progress being made. Again, this is C++ based, so transitioning a little bit away for a moment from JavaScript and React Native and going back into C++. So different kind of skill sets being exercised, but I like the challenge. So what I did here is create set of smart contract code that enables me to basically record an asset on chain. I'm going to show you guys how I did that in a moment. And then I also added a table that allows for me to essentially start to allocate reward percentages for users who might interact or say either list an asset, use an asset, or promote an asset. So really cool. This is my kind of structure that you see here. By the way, I'm coming up to you here from the mountains. In the background, I have a fireplace going. So if you hear some crackling or you see some shimmering from my face, it is the fireplace directly in front of me that's enabling me to stay warm up here. But in any event, yeah, I have my contract here. I have a couple different tables that enable me to store these assets. I have a couple actions that I've developed over time. And essentially, my goal was to create what's called a CRUD functionality. And for those that aren't familiar with that, what that is, it's the ability to create, update, read, and delete a record, right? Whether you're talking about EOS or another type of application, that's a really core feature set you need, right, to have an app. You can't just have an app that looks good, it has to have the functionality. So what I wanted to do today is kind of quickly demonstrate that demo and see what you guys think. Again, if you like this content, consider hitting the like button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition from the screen I'm showing you right now to another screen. Let's see if I can actually do this on the fly. It's a little hard with the versioning of the StreamYard I have because I think it only allows me to do one of these at a time. So I actually got to go and transition back to the screen. So I'm going to actually go to the Anchor wallet. And this is just a demo Anchor wallet I've set up. What you have here is you have the ability through Anchor, by the way, to load different smart contracts. You can go to Tools on the left here, and you can go to Smart Contracts. And once you go to Smart Contracts, you can enter the name of the contract. In this case, I loaded those contracts to an account RealLot user. You can see that the contract has been successfully loaded. Now, I loaded up my contracts onto the Jungle testnet, which is just a way for developers on EOS to really test out the functionality of their code, right, without introducing risk to real-world tokens or assets like EOS. So I use this now as kind of my sandbox to test this functionality out. And so once I load the contracts, you can see I have listed here a couple of those different action sets that I described earlier. So I can add an asset, I can add a new reward, I can add a user, I can do a count of records, I can delete an asset, I can delete a reward, and I can modify a reward. So I'll just take you through them quite quickly. If I hit add assets here, you can see that I have a list of action parameters. These are just things that go actually into the record that's created on the blockchain. So if I hit, in this case, I'm going to actually create this using the account, the contract account, so RealLot user 11. And I'm just going to put that this is a test. These are some of the parameters I talked about in my last video that I wanted to add for functionality. So my profit target for this particular assets or real estate, I'm going to say I want $100,000. My current reward is 10%. My reward percentage is actually my current reward, I'm sorry, is 0. My reward percentage is 10%. The asset owner, for now, this could be actually an EOS account, or it can be like what I think of as a secondary account where I, as maybe the application owner or a group of maintainers who ultimately form a DAO for this, could have, their names listed here, and this could be MySQL based as opposed to something actually on chain, because maybe not everybody wants to go through that hassle of creating an account on EOS. I mean, there's a lot of hurdles. I want to make this extremely easy for people to leverage, EOS as a technology, but not necessarily have all the hassles that come with it in its current form. The RAM pair we're going to assign as, again, the contract account in this case. The asset description, I'm just going to actually copy for now. A brief description I'll find. So give me one moment here to just pull up some gibberish here, and we'll see if this works. I'll just copy a subset for now of what I found online. This just gives a very description of one of the homes that I was able to find. And then you can find a picture. So we'll go with, I don't know, let's just go with a very basic picture, guys. Give me 1 second here to get a photo. Oh, I was hoping to. Oh, it's all live, as you could tell. So no rehearsals with this. I apologize for the delays. Okay, so I got an image here. I'm going to copy that in. So now at the very bottom, I can hit the create transaction. I linked a picture to a Redfin asset in this case. An actual implementation, to start with, I'd probably use either the S3 equivalent technology on Microsoft or the Amazon S3 to start with these. I do want to start leaning towards IPFS, but for now, this is going to be the implementation, how I'm going to go about probably doing it. So I'll hit create the transaction, and you can see there's going to be one transaction that's going to be created. There's one action, and the transaction expires 2 minutes from now. I'll hit the broadcast the transaction. You could see that it did indeed get submitted. Seems like it's successful. So now we're going to go back to our tables, and I'm going to load the table. So in this case, it's going to be under assets new. We're going to hit the load table, and you can see on the very bottom here that here it is, this last one. It's a little, I wish that Anchor had this first field view kind of float when I scroll down. But in any event, you can see that everything got populated correctly here. And here's the description that we just created, guys. So once inside Unit 1, you will enjoy an open floor plan with living room, kitchen, blah, blah, blah. And then here's the link to the photo if you want to go see it. And in fact, I think in the future, what I would imagine this to be is an array of photos. So it would have a series of maybe 5 to 10 photos in an array, and then via IPFS, and then the person could, search through these. If I scroll all the way to the right, you could see that is created by a real user. So now the next step might be, so I was able to show that I can create an asset on this smart contract. Now I want to go ahead and add rewards to say this asset. So say someone has used this particular home, and now, or they promoted it in some way, and now I want to reward that user. So I'm going to go back to the table and just make a note of that ID. That ID is 6. You could see here. That's the first one here, the asset ID. So if I go to my actions, add new reward, the asset ID is 6. The reward owner accounts, we'll just say Phoenix for now. The type will say MySQL. The percentage I'm going to give Phoenix is 1% of any profit percentage I generate. So if I generate $100,000, 1,000 would go to Phoenix every year. My creation date is let's just say 1/14/23. Modified date is 1/14/23. And my payout date, I haven't established that yet, but we'll say 1/30/23. So we're going to go ahead and hit the create transaction. And this is what's going to be generated. Broadcast. And there we go. So we created that field as well. So now if we go back to our tables, go to Assets New, load our table. Remember that we updated item 6. So if we scroll all the way to the right for item 6, it's a little, I'm not sure why Anchor might have to expand this out. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that, but you could see Phoenix is here, the reward owner account, MySQL, his percentage is 1, the reward created date, so on and so forth. So that is how basically we can create some rewards for our users. We can go back in there and again, load the contract, and we can delete a reward. So the asset ID was 6, the reward was 1. If I hit the create actually the reward, let me make sure we got that right. It's either 0 or 1. It is going to be 0. Okay, so if we go to our actions, delete reward, we would say 0 here. We're going to create the transaction, broadcast, and there you go. It's now deleted. So if we go back to our tables, assets new, you could see it's empty, which is what we wanted. So that's how you do that. There is also the ability to modify the asset. So if I go here, I can hit modify. Oh, modify the reward. I need to add to modify the asset. So that'll be coming next. Some other things I'm trying to kind of work through right now are a fiat on-ramp strategy. So how I would add, because I think about it, like most of the people I know don't actually have crypto. So ultimately, I would need to add some type of payment functionality, either Visa or credit card, maybe even a fiat stablecoin on ramp solution for just native crypto users. So I'm now looking at what the easiest API payment provider would be to help me do that. I'll keep you guys posted. I also did look at like some solutions to potentially enable me to accept like EOS payments just off the bat, and I only found like one provider. It's called Now Payments, potentially to help me do that. Pretty much everybody else was either the solutions no longer are active, or the documentation isn't very good. So I'm kind of curious to hear if anybody has been successful in doing that. I think most applications I've seen being built on EOS just use EOS as a token, but to get high adoption for an app, most users are not likely to have EOS like in their wallets. They're just going to use their phones and want it to function very much like Airbnb or any other leasing service. So that's kind of what I'm gearing this application to be. But that's the update, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your comments, any suggestions. And, if you are interested, check out on the Jungle testnet for this contract. I will also try to put up a GitHub link at some point to this video that actually shows my, source code, how I built this, for those that are interested and want to load it, on your own. So with that said, that's my update, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day. And this is Phoenix. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.